In Britain, a man who tore himself away from his high-tech computer and tuned into his low-tech shortwave radio stumbled upon an entire universe of radio stations that the public is not supposed to hear or even know about. They're called number stations, a holdover from the Cold War, but still very much alive and transmitting. Peter Rosen of our Salt Lake City station, KUTV, reports.
They're out there.
We found this one frequency.
Somewhere.
They're all encrypted. We can't read or understand what they're saying.
And at our request, amateur radio enthusiasts John Lloyd and Glenn Worthington
Heard them 30, 40 years ago.
are listening.
Number stations sound very different from any other transmission.
To numbers stations.
8, 2, 1.
Shortwave broadcasts of numbers or letters, spoken or tapped out in Morse code.
PGT, NT.
No call letters, no explanation.
3, 9, 7.
I kept running across very odd transmissions.
On the other side of the Atlantic, Akin Fernandez is listening too.
I used to monitor them basically all night.
During the 90s,
Every day of the week.
he became obsessed. He says it's understood that number stations broadcast to a very particular audience.
Number stations are a perfect way of anonymous communication.
Spies.
We don't know where they're coming from, no. Some spy network or something.
We're definitely talking about governments.
9, 4.
Top secret messages from Cuba, from Israel's Mossad, from the CIA.
It sounds like it's coming from the U.S. Maybe that was coming out of Langley, Virginia. I don't know.
What's dubbed the Lincolnshire Poacher is supposedly on a British base in Cyprus, broadcasting to the Middle East.
He's on the air every day, clockwork.
These broadcasts began routinely during the Cold War. They're translated only with something called a one-time pad, a dictionary for a language spoken just once.
It really spoke to me in a way that
To Fernandez, they became a kind of art.
an art form in themselves.
And he produced the Comet Project, a 4-CD, 4-hour collection of number stations recordings, which became a cult hit.
Count 2, 2, 5.
I'm attracted to the sound of these stations.
Excerpts have been used on albums.
Their oddness, their musicality.
No government has ever acknowledged the existence of number stations. Once, a British official said this: people shouldn't be interested in number stations because they shouldn't be listening to them because they are illegal to listen to.
But Fernandez hasn't heard enough and is soliciting first-hand accounts of broadcasters.
Just too many questions.
He wants to know if the Cold War is over,
They really shouldn't be number stations.
why is it still on the air?
That was Peter Rosen of KUTV reporting.